Wow, another Saturday evening, and it's still beautiful. All is perfect, whole, and complete in my world. And I trust that it is the same for you. Because I can tell you right now, when we make the decision for everything around us to be perfect, whole, and complete in our world, that is what we get. When we make the decision that maybe not so much, that is what we get. What if we decide, each of us decide, to focus only on the desires of our heart, to focus on those things that bring us exquisite joy, to focus on those things that make us want to laugh out loud, focus on those things that cause us to smile for no reason just because we can, focusing on those things that matter to us. Now that's going to require being willing to let some things go that really don't matter to you, but you've been holding on to them anyway. And sometimes it feels like it's just a ball of chain around your leg, around your heart, around your mind, around your soul, around all those things that matter. And you just wonder, what would be the difference if I would just allow myself to be? What would be the difference if I allow myself to just reflect back over my life and look at the aha moments that came? And as those moments came, some of them I embraced, and some of them somebody said, no, girl, you better not do that one. And you bought it from them. You decided to own that, which means that you really just slapped your own self in the face because it was your aha moment, but you allowed somebody else to tell you what to do with it. So one of the things that I want to say for sure is, whatever is next for you, whatever is next for you, know that everything is always working out for me. And that's what you say for yourself. Things are always working out for me. Whatever my next is, whatever I focus on so completely that it just draws me into it, and I'm just enjoying being sucked in. I'm like a sponge. I'm so excited about it all. And because you're so excited about it all, you know for sure, no matter what the outcome, and that can be kind of scary sometimes because we really don't know what the outcome is going to be for a lot of things, even though we know what we'd like it to be. So because we don't know, whatever the outcome is, remember, things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for you. And the more things are working out for you, the more things will continue to work out for you when you know that things are always working out. Sounds like a riddle, yeah. It's really not a riddle. It is absolute truth. That is a universal law. And there are so many universal laws that we don't even think about that are always in play. And because these universal laws are always in play, having your aha moments and recognizing them and loving up on them, and holding them close, allowing you to expand into your life as a person. And this expansion continues to grow and grow and grow, and it starts to fill up your whole space. And because it's filling up your whole space, you know that you know that you know. So tonight I'm going to break down the word moments. It can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. I'm going to give you what I have for me, because moments come all the time. All the time we're getting moments. And because we're always getting moments, how do we stop and recognize, acknowledge these moments? So I'm starting out with the M in moments. This is what I just said, being recognizing and stopping. M means mindful. Just being mindful about everything around you and your surroundings, being mindful of how you speak to people, being mindful of your thoughts. And as you're being mindful of your thoughts, you're in the energy of recognizing, well, wait a minute, I know that this is my thought. I can have this thought. And because you can have this thought, because it is your thought, you get to keep that thought if you desire. Now, how does that fit with aha moments? When you are mindful and aware, not only of your outer surroundings, but your inner surroundings as well. When you are mindful and aware, the aha moments, now you can catch them more quickly. Now you can look at them and see if this is really an aha moment. Sometimes it might take a year or 2 or 3 or 20 for you to go back in your mind and go, oh, that was an aha moment. But being mindful and being joyful as well, because you've been given a gift from your creator with this aha moment that can lead you on the path of your greatest desire without you ever even knowing that was your greatest desire until it came. How cool is that? That's just really, really cool. It makes sense. It makes more than sense, because sometimes we know that we want something, we haven't really made it a strong desire because we're not quite sure. Now the aha moment lets us know, okay, you're on your right path. You are on your right path. And the more you stay on your right path, the better it gets. So when you have these aha moments, sometimes you might want to keep a pad with you so you can just write things down. Just write them down. And if you know how to, if you have your own shorthand method of writing things down, this might be very helpful, because with your own shorthand method, you don't have to write out the whole longhand, you're writing things down. And as you're writing them down, when you go back to that, the end of the day, when you go back to it and you look at it, now you go, oh, let me expound on this. Let me expand this a little bit. Let me get into it and allow myself to be okay with this. Allow myself to let it wash over me, through me, all around me, so that now I own it. And when we start owning something, oh man, we just become unstoppable. The O in moments is for being open-minded. How many of you heard people say, and you might have even said it yourself, somebody brings something to you and it's like, oh, I would never do that, without even giving it a second, a nanosecond of consideration. What if that is your aha moment? And you said, I would never. Now the aha moment just goes about its business. And it came because you had been requesting it. You've been asking for it. You've been praying for it. You know it's what you want, but it came in such a way and from somebody that you didn't think that they would have been the one to tell you this. That's amazing. I remember growing up in a small town, and we had this lady on our block. She wasn't old, now that I remember, but when back then as a child, I thought she was old. And she wore layers and layers and layers of clothes all the time, winter and summer. She never really knew herself, but she always had some really wise words to give to the children. And that was amazing. As I reflect back on, we called her Miss Tiny. And Miss Tiny could tell us some things, and we would, as children, we looked at her like we thought she was crazy. And then we started talking about it. And we found that much of what Miss Tiny said really made sense. And as I have gotten older through the years, she said a whole lot of stuff that made sense. So those were aha moments. So being open-minded, not actually making a judgment on a person or however it came to you. But if you're gonna make a judgment, allow yourself to be in a non-judgmental frame so you can really look at it and accept it or not. But aha moments come all the time. You could be sitting in traffic and you'll get an aha moment from something that you've been mulling over in your mind. And now you have a clear direction on where to go and how to get there. Now, once you get that clear direction on where to go and how to get there, it's up to you to follow it. Inez, what are you talking about? I'm telling you, whenever that clear direction comes, and it's so clear that it seems uncanny that you got it, and you know if you do exactly that, it's going to give you exactly what you asked for, your desires of the heart. However, you want to tweak it just a little bit. Tweak it here, tweak it there. Next thing you know, you're scattered all over the place and you haven't gotten where you want to be. You haven't really touched that moment. You haven't brought it into your whole being. And once you bring it into your whole being, you become motivated. That is your next M. Motivation. You're mindful. You're open-minded. You've gotten a clear direction, a clear path. You can feel it, taste it, touch it. You know that it's yours. Now the motivation has to be self-generated. I know a lot of people say motivation, you can get it when you go to the speeches and reading a book. That gives you ideas. Ultimately, motivation must come from inside of you. So even though you have this clear path, you've been being mindful about every single thing, even with the clear path, being mindful, the motivation to start on this path. So if you're in Florida and you want to get to New York, you can sit in your house all day and think about, ooh, I really want to go to New York. And then you say, well, maybe I'll drive. No, maybe I'll fly. Maybe I'll take a train. And maybe, and you never get off the couch. And that's what happens when things seem to open up for us and it seems like it's going to be so easy. See, we've been taught that simple and hard, simple and grace doesn't work. It has to be hard. It has to be complex. It has to require a lot of time. And all of those are myths if you want to make it a myth. Or if you want to own it, then you can. But whenever you get a clear direction by being mindful and open-minded, now it's up to you to get the motivation to do it. And motivation comes because your desires of the heart just keep beating and beating and beating. And that heart keeps beating and the desires just keep going through you and like, why don't I just get up and do this? And once you get started, it becomes unstoppable because you are on your path. And let me tell you this, your path is uniquely yours. It's not for anybody other than you. My path is for Inez. It's uniquely mine. And I've gone through some detours. I've gone over some rocks. I've gone over some hills. I've gone over the ocean, all of these things. The big thing, though, is to know that it's the desire of my heart. And it's because I know that as being mindful, open-minded, getting the motivation to get off the couch. Woo. Now that's a big one. The motivation to get off the couch. Because we can always, the couch is very comfortable. We could just sit on it all day and tomorrow and the next day and the day after that without ever even thinking about going after the desires of our heart, even though we got a clear path. The clear path will come in our mind every now and then. Oh, but I'm not motivated to get off this couch, so I'm not going to do that right now. And that is perfectly okay. Because as you are not ready to do it right now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to. It just means that you're not ready to do it right now. And that's okay too. The biggest thing though, is with your motivation to go for it. Because once you start going for it, you start to feel empowered, which is our next E. And as you are feeling empowered, it makes all the difference. The mindfulness, the open-mindedness, the motivation, the empowering comes when you start on your journey, when you allow this moment to be there for you, to own the moment and go with it wherever it's taking you. Because remember, things are always working out for you when you allow that, even when you're not allowing it. Things are always working out. And because things are always working out, it gives us the opportunity to be empowered by everything that's going on in our life, if we desire. See, a big deal is, what do we really desire? What is the desire of your heart, your soul that's crying out for you? How do you know this is right for you? Because you know you had the aha moment. And now you get to live in that space. And as you're living in that space, it makes all the difference. So that's where the empowering comes. And because you have the clear path, you've been mindful, you've been open-minded, you have the clear path to go forward with the motivation, it's empowering to know, I own this. I brought this to me because it was the desire of my heart. And I am so excited about it. I'm joyful. I'm almost giddy just because I know that I can do this. And when you know that you know that you know that you can do it, you become unstoppable. And when I say being unstoppable, it means you yourself internally. It's not about somebody putting a block in front of you. It's about you internally know that as long as I continue on this path, I am following my aha moment and nothing will stop me. But it's from internal, not from outside stopping, Now there will be times when somebody will come along or something will come along and it kind of sort of derails you. It makes you feel like, oh, maybe I ought to pause. And it's okay to pause as long as you don't stop. See, there's a difference. I heard a joke once, and this was a police officer had pulled over, had stopped a car from speeding, and the driver was trying to get out of the ticket. So the police officer said, what does stop me? So he took his billy stick and started hitting him on the head. And the driver said, well, will you please stop doing that? He said, do you want me to stop or do you want me to pause? You said you paused. He said, no, just stop. So when we are stopping something, it gives us the opportunity to create even more motivation, to be more empowered to go for it. Because some things will come and give you a detour, they give you a derailment or whatever. And as it happens, know that that's happening now, being mindful of it, noticing it, knowing that it is happening, knowing that this too shall pass because things are always working out for you. And as things are always working out for you, it is just simply amazing. So we're going to be mindful. We're going to be open-minded, motivated to get it done, and empowered to go through with it, to keep following our path. In moments is nature. Universal laws of nature are always in play. They are always in play, whether we recognize it or not. And sometimes we don't recognize it because we haven't been paying attention. We haven't been noticing. We haven't been mindful. But universal laws are always in play. That is the nature of life. And being in nature as well. Get out sometimes and just go for a walk. Go for a walk on a path where you have trees and you can see some water, or if you like water, you can look up at the sky and see the moon if it's at night. It's so amazing. Just being in nature can shift your energy in such a mighty way that you know that you just cannot stop doing whatever is the desire of your heart, because it just won't allow you. Nature also gives you the opportunity to notice the way things grow. Plants come from seeds. So we know that since plants come from seeds, we put the plants in the ground in the dark, away from the sun. But we treat them. We give them water. We make sure the weeds don't take over. And we nurture them. And then when that first sprout pops up, wow, now we're getting somewhere. And sometimes it's like that with your aha moments. It's just being taken care of until you start to acknowledge it. So it's in the ground, it's in the dirt. It's just sitting there waiting for you to water it. Think about it some more, water it some more. And when it starts to sprouting, that first sprout, then a second, the next thing you know, with the sunlight, the watering, next thing you know, you got a big tree or a big tomato plant or some collards or whatever you planted. That is the nature of things. And that is the nature of aha moments. You must take care of them. Because when you take care of your aha moments, they take care of you. Have you ever been in a situation and you wonder how you got there and then it just dissipates? It's an aha moment. It takes care of you because you have been taking care of it. And the more you take care of your aha moments, the more aha moments will come. And these moments will always give you the opportunity to pause and think about them or not, to recognize them or not, to go forth and go forward or not. See, that's the beauty of life. When we make decisions about things, we can continue on the same path, seeing that we're not getting anywhere, but we're going to stay on this path. Or we can change the path. It doesn't matter. Whatever you create, you can create it differently, make a tweak to it, discard it altogether, but it's yours. And your aha moments help you to stay centered, mindful, open-minded, motivated, empowered, and being in nature, recognizing the laws of universal laws of nature. And as you recognize that, you'll You'll become more at ease with yourself as you're going through a process. Now, once you know that these aha moments are continuing to come, it becomes your norm. And as it becomes your norm, you embrace, and guess you got it for yourself. That is just so awesome. That is one of the most awesome things that can happen. T for moments is terrific. Think about that word, terrific. When you hear somebody say, oh, I'm just so terrific, how do you feel? What do you think? When you hear somebody say, oh, that was a terrific opportunity, what do you think? Does it mean that it was actually quite good, or does it mean that, oh my goodness, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this situation. No, that's not what it means. It means that you had such a great time. It was so powerful for you that being in that situation, you were mindful, you were open-minded, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you knew that the universal laws of nature were coming to you in your favor. And it just felt so good. And when things feel really good, just get yummy and delicious. Just get juicy. Just enjoy it. Because sometimes things will put you in a place where you think, oh my goodness, I'm doing all this and I'm not getting anything back. Yes, you are. You're getting something back. You just don't know it. You're getting the feedback of the contrast that comes when things are not just as you thought they would be, but it gives you an opportunity to see what's next. What is next? Is the contrast comes because now when you get the contrast, you pause, you look at what's going on with this contrast. And as you're looking at this contrast, it gives you the opportunity to think of something else that you might desire. What if? So a big part of life is allowing yourself to do what ifs. And as you are doing those what ifs, it makes a huge difference in the ifs that come. And that in itself is amazing. So mindful is M for moments. Open-minded is the O. M, the other M is motivation. Then, of course, we have the empower, so you can go through with everything that you had decided to do. Being in nature and observing the universal laws of nature. And then being terrific, knowing that when you speak life into yourself, when you speak joy into yourself, when you speak bliss into yourself, I don't care what is going on in your world. When you start speaking, oh, I just feel great today. When people ask me, Inez, how are you? I always say exquisitely fabulous. And just by saying those words, even if I were not exquisitely fabulous, I start to feel my energy lift. So instead of saying, oh no, girl, that's just a bad, no, you don't want to say that. This is a great day. Every day is a great day because that is what you speak into your existence. We speak everything that comes to us into our existence, whether we know it or not. We think it in, we concentrate on it, we bring it to us, and then we wonder how we got it because you brought it to yourself. And the more you bring it to yourself, if it's not something that you want, you wonder how it got there, but you keep dwelling on it instead of sending it away. So you get to do all that when you're ready. And the S in aha moments is satisfied. Let me tell you, satisfaction is huge. When you follow your mind being mindfulness, open-minded, having the motivation to follow your clear path that's been given to you, being empowered to stay on your path, knowing the laws of nature, feeling terrific, satisfaction just breathes into you. And when that satisfaction comes and breathes into you, it feels good. You're no longer going after every little shiny object. You're no longer running outside of yourself to find yourself because yourself is in you. And because you're no longer running out of yourself, you are satisfied. You breathe more deeply. You take better care of yourself. You hydrate often. You keep the water around you. You socialize. You do exercises. You sleep well. You eat well. You take exquisite care of yourself because you are so satisfied. It doesn't mean, let me back up. Being satisfied doesn't mean that you are not going to continue on your path. Being satisfied opens up the whole world to you, the stratosphere to you, to bring you the joys of your heart. And as you are getting the desires and the joys of your heart, it's just so amazing. It's almost like, wow, I deserve this. And you do. So many people don't know that they are deserving of all the good that they desire, but we all are. And as we're having these aha moments, and some of them come back from childhood, people tell you things like, you know, you're going to be that doctor that we had. We don't have a doctor in the family, even though it wasn't your dream. You didn't want to disappoint them. So you got your doctorate. Now what? What do you do with it? You are mindful that you have it. Now, how can I use this degree to enjoy my life? What can I do with this? I've satisfied mom and dad and everybody else. Now, what can I do to satisfy me? So, and there is so many creative ways to use degrees now. It used to be you had to do this or you had to do that. No more. You can do so much in so many different ways. As you are being mindful, open-minded, motivated, empowered, following the laws of nature, enjoying nature, feeling terrific and satisfied, then you want to breathe. You want to give yourself permission to take some time every single day. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 7 minutes. It's awesome if you can get up to 20 minutes a day, in the morning and in the evening, or even once a day. If you can just sit satisfied for 20 minutes every day, morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you have time. And as you're sitting satisfied, just imagining all the good that's come to you. And if you notice, I focus on all the good, because negative things will show up sometimes, but when you dwell on them, you get more of those. So if you're focusing on only the good, you're going to continue to get the good. And that's what you desire. I know that's what I desire. So as you are satisfied, you're being mindful, open-minded, motivated, oh my goodness, life becomes exquisitely fabulous. And if you want to use that, you can use it as well. Somebody asks you how you're doing, exquisitely fabulous. The dog just messed in the house and all this other stuff is going on, but you still exquisitely fabulous. See, when we allow ourselves to really get centered in ourselves, things are going to happen. Does it mean that we have to own that and not be ourselves? No, it doesn't. And because it means that we can still be ourselves as we handle these fires and put them out, that makes all the difference. I am Inez Bracy, your health coach, health and wellness coach, and I'm so excited to be with you with aha moments. It is such an amazing space in which to dwell when we learn that it's okay to be there. And knowing that it's okay makes a big difference as well. If you want to reach out to me, you can go to inezbracy.com. Inez Bracy, I-N-E-Z as in zebra, Bracy, B as in boy, R-A-C-Y.com, and you will find my website, how to get in touch with me and all that. And I am thrilled to be with you. It is so important that when we are watching TV, that we pay attention to what is going into our mind. Pay attention to the shows that we watch. Pay attention to the news that you watch, which I stopped watching a long time ago. Pay attention because ultimately everything you see or you hear becomes a part of you. You read becomes a part of you. So what part of you are those things becoming if they are not supporting you in being the person you know yourself to be and staying on your path and living a life that you know is your life to live? Because after all, that is exactly why you were put here, to live the life of your dreams. And as you are living the life of your dreams, following your dreams, observing all things around you, being satisfied, it is an amazing space in which to dwell. And I can tell you right now, once you get started dwelling there, you never stop. You will not allow yourself to stop. You might get derailed a little bit, but that feel-good feeling that you had becomes addictive and you want it all the time. And it's generated from within. It's not because you're using some outside source. It's because it's generated from within. I will see you next Saturday at 7 p.m.